Peace and love, y'all. What's going on? This is Javon, Dr. Love Jones. We're here on day 23 of the Content Creation Challenge. You know what it is. Let's chop it up. All right, so listen. Be your authentic self. Be in 2025. And this idea of faking the funk ain't it no more. It used to be the thing that you had to do. It used to be the thing. They used to say, fake it until you make it. Right? Wasn't that a thing? But then I heard somebody say something genius. Visualize it until you got it. Or faith it until you make it. These terms is more real. But at the end of the day, you have to be authentic with yourself. Because when you're not authentic, and you, especially if you build a platform based off inauthenticity in today's world, everything is getting exposed. Because here's the truth. Everybody got a phone just like I got a phone. Everybody got a voice just like I got a voice. And everybody has a story. There's some that better at telling stories. There's some that has the personality to drive home a story. So all it takes is a person with enough courage within themselves and have moral truth or belief within themselves that they believe in they're doing a higher power to just expose you for being phony, for being inauthentic, for being fake. So you might as well just be your true self. If I got some real things going on in my life, I can't come on this camera and talk like I got everything right because I don't. I'm barely managing to do a 30-day challenge I set for myself. I'm still working on some things within me. But through my flaws, I want to work through it so you can see the work. The work is not just something I do because it sounds good, it looks good, it feels good, or whatever. The work is the work. But I show up myself all the time in all spaces and places I'm in. I'm not gonna say or do the things that's gonna betray my true authenticity self. Because who I am is, I'm a real one. Anybody who knows me in real life knows I'm a real one. I'm not a real one because it sounds good when you say it. I'm a real one because I ain't afraid to be myself at any moment. At every moment, I'm myself. Every moment. When me talking to you on this camera is me being myself. I'm not here code switching. I'm not here acting like... The one thing I probably don't do on these videos that I normally would do is curse. But I don't need to curse and make a point. All I need to curse to be authentic. Because if you hear it, then it is what it is. But I'm not out here trying to be something I'm not. Because who I am is who I am. And you either rock with it or you don't. And when you are your authentic self, it brings a level of realness to you. And people who are connected to you feel like they can rock with you because they feel like you're yourself. See, when you try to be something that you're not, you tend to get an audience that rock with who you perceive yourself to be. And you got to continue to be that, right? I'm not an actor. And I can imagine the struggle of actors that people fall in love with the character that they played. And when that show, that series, or even that film is over, people fell in love with the character so much, or they develop a viewpoint of that character, that it's hard for that actor to play out the roles without people thinking of that character. You know, I think about Jaleel White. You know, he plays Steve Urkel for so many years, and he did such a great job. Him playing in other movies, a lot of people still going to see that he's Urkel, even though he doesn't carry himself or his acting skills or chops are nothing like of Urkel. That's what people know him as, right? So I think about that. So now let's put this in real life. If you're not being your authentic self, you're playing a role. You're an actor. You're playing a character. And that character you portray, even through growth, you can't get out of character. Because once you get out of character, people aren't going to fall for that real person that you are, because they see you as this character. Even though they might think this is the real you, they may think it's the real you. So when you start to display all things, people ain't gonna even think the version of you that you might be saying is a real you. They're gonna be like, nah, that's you switching up. That's you changing. And people want consistency when it comes to character. Why be an actor if you're not getting paid for it? And yeah, you might build a big audience to be able to monetize off your audience, but let's be real. People who are real and them true selves can do the same thing. So why would you fake the funk? So my point is I want people to start to be comfortable with being their true selves. If you are a virgin, let the world know you're a virgin. I can remember I'm surprised I'm going here, but I'm gonna talk about it. In my early 20s, I used to trump up my body count just to look like I know, just as make it seem like I knew what I was doing, make it seem like I didn't struggle to have women, like to get women. But for one, I was a late bloomer in life when it comes to the type dealing with women on that level. But I also was not the person that was always out there. I could tell you right now, I have a very small number of women I've been intimate with. Very small number. Compared to a lot of the men I know. Let's just say this. Now, I might say it and be like, nah, that ain't too bad. But when I say it, this is as real as it gets. So my point is that there was a time in my life where I was ashamed at the fact that I didn't have that much women that I was messing around with, sleeping with, right? I made that to be such a big deal that I wasn't doing that, which kind of made me like, which I look back now and I thought, like, why was I accepting of myself in those moments? And I got at that point, it's not like the woman who I was dealing with at that time was necessarily worthy of that lie. Because because I didn't need to lie about that. Because if I had told the truth, that person would have been less interested in me. And the truth is, that person served a big purpose in my life, but that was not a good person to get with. That person served so many learning lessons I had to learn for myself. So at the end of the day, it wasn't even worth the lie. Because now, at 36 years old, I'm extremely happy and proud of the fact that I don't have this exuberant amount of women I've slept with. I can go into most rooms and not see the woman I slept with. Even if I go to the area I was born and raised in, I can go in most rooms and know that there's women in that room that never had me in their bed. And to me, that's a badge of honor. I know I've kind of pivoted to that, but that's when you are authentic and true to yourself, you start to be grateful and appreciate who you really are. Because here's the thing, right? If you try to be like anybody else, you're only a second-rate version or lesser of that person. But when you're yourself, you're the first-rate version of you. Because ain't nobody in this world that's like you. There's no experiences like you. Bro, listen, this right here, your fingertip, there is not one person who got the same fingertip as you. So who you are is unique. Who you are is special. Do not let this world make you feel that who you are isn't good enough. I'm letting you know, that when you are good enough for who you are, because you was created by the Most High. And as long as you're created by the Most High, then you have a purpose for being here. And all your experience is shaping you to be the person who are in line with their purpose. So, my message to you is be yourself. Be your authentic self. Don't let anybody make you feel like who you are isn't good enough, because it's more than good enough. Peace and love. I'll see you on the next video.